thanks to everyone who entered the WITF Art Contest. Be watching when we announce the winners on Sunday, April 23rd during Gallery 33.
You're watching WITF Television, Harrisburg.
This program is made possible on WITF by contributing members and by Sprint United Telephone.
It turns the push of a button into extra time. It turns impulses into ideas. It helps wires break down walls.
I really miss you.
It's the power of people, helping you manage your time, your work, your life, giving you the power to be there now. Sprint United Telephone. Be there now.
From Penn State, this is Weather World, made possible by grants from Adelphia Cable Communications of Countersport, bringing the picture of cable television to viewers since 1952. From Omega Financial Corporation and its banking affiliates, First National of Saxton, Hollidaysburg Trust, People's Bank, Penn Central National, and Russell Bank. From Swift Kennedy and Company, DuBois and Brockway, providing professional services for personal, business, and financial needs. From King Printing of State College, providing businesses and individuals with complete offset printing and copy services. And made possible through the financial support of viewers like you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Fred Gadomski, along with Colin Marquis. Welcome to Weather World on this Monday night. Yes, spring fever is probably too hackneyed a term for it. Everyone who I have talked to is in a good mood, including Colin, who has the forecast.
That's definitely right. I'm in a great mood. And for the most part, what you saw today in the weather is what you're going to see tomorrow, so that'll make you even happier.
There you go. Here we are, purveyors of happiness. And in just a couple of moments, Colin will have all those details. Also tonight, it's a Monday. We'll have the extended forecast. We'll be looking toward the end of the weekend. People are always asking when something like this happens, can it last? The answer is no. And but first, tonight, we have our weather review segment dedicated to the proposition that you have been away for the weekend. And it always goes back to a satellite sequence taking us back to last Thursday. When you watch this thing go in motion, you'll be able to see the relentless, almost relentless storminess coming into the western part of North America, while the eastern part of the United States seems to have its deflector shields up, and there's actually a huge area of high pressure extending up into the upper atmosphere, which is the meteorological deflector shield, and it's kind of stopping up the works there in the middle part of the country, where they've started to have some recurrent showers and thunder showers in the lower Mississippi River Valley as well. But let's take a look at how everything has evolved. We were having the end of a little snowstorm last Wednesday night, early Thursday. That was moving out, and it got kind of chilly behind that. We had some cool mornings over the weekend of the Canadian air. And then during the weekend, we've been getting rid of the cool air, slowly but surely. It hasn't fully left the eastern part of New England, and whether it's going to come back is an issue for Colin in the next couple of days. Out in the western part of North America, you can see those storm systems continuing to affect at least northern California. Here's how the temperatures have evolved. Note the warm air surging its way up the east coast, and then cooling conditions came in late last week. As we go over the weekend, though, expanding warmth. Very cold air, however, up across northwestern Canada. Some of the coldest places around are up there, and one of the coldest outbreaks of the season in northern Alaska. Okay, how do we look on precipitation in the last week? Well, there's pretty healthy precipitation. Remember, everyone in the green has had more than an inch, and you get to the darker green, it's more than 2 inches, and the still darker green, more than 4 inches. So there's the beginning of the spring moisture coming up through the interior southeast and into the Ohio Valley. In general, ample precipitation. A couple of places still remaining dry last week. The interior southeast and portions of the northern plains where perhaps we are planting the seeds of drought. But now it's time to check out the warmest place, the coldest place, and the wettest place in the world last week.
Over the last couple of days, the atmosphere has been in a pattern that has been quite stagnant, and therefore areas that have seen nice weather, warm weather, have continued to see nice and warm weather for the last several days, and those areas seeing inclement weather have seen persistent showers and thunderstorms, and that will continue for tomorrow and part of Wednesday, and I'll unfold the details of the forecast in just a moment. First, however, as of 4 o'clock this afternoon, temperatures popped up nicely into the upper 60s across the central mountains and into the middle 70s. 75, I believe, was the high down towards Pittsburgh. And temperatures also did rebound quite nicely from fairly chilly morning temperatures across the southeast as well. Harrisburg was up into the middle and upper 60s and touching 70 down toward Philadelphia. Let's take a look at the clouds and put them in motion over the last 24 hours, and it will show a wide expanse of clear skies in the eastern half to eastern third of the nation. And as Fred mentioned in the first segment, there's a large area of high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere, sort of blocking any storminess coming in from the west and ensuring that the temperatures are quite mild indeed, with afternoon highs some 20 to 25 degrees above the seasonal average for the most part around the state of Pennsylvania. High temperatures, record high temperatures set, to be sure, all the way from Illinois, where Chicago set a record high temperature, or tied a record high temperature this afternoon at 72, all the way into upstate New York, where Rochester topped their high temperature at 71 degrees early this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms occurring in the western Gulf of Mexico are causing some havoc down in those parts, and I'll show you a radar composite starting from earlier this morning. It shows some nasty thunderstorms moving from extreme eastern Texas into western Louisiana, and some areas where the rains have been recurrent, such as Lufkin in eastern parts of Texas, did receive amounts in excess of 2 inches during the morning hours this morning. And the showers will progress further to the north into the center part of the country. One other thing of notice on this map is there was a little bit of snow and a little bit of ice in Maine, where they are not enjoying the warm weather up there with temperatures only in the 30s. Okay, let's take a look at the surface map from this afternoon, and there it is. Temperatures only in the upper 30s in eastern Maine on the eastern side of this warm front, but behind the warm front in central New Hampshire and all the way back to the Mississippi River just about, temperatures in the 60s and into the 70s as well. Further to the west, recurrent showers and thunderstorms, as I mentioned, giving heavy rainfall in the western Gulf, and that will continue tonight and tomorrow, although it will tend to taper down with time. Let's take a look now at the way the map should appear tomorrow night at showtime. First of all, on the west coast, they've had some heavy rain to deal with too, where overnight and during the course of tomorrow, places in northern California can expect 2 to 4 inches of rain, and in the Sierra above about 6,000 or 7,000 feet, some significant snows. In the south, not much changing, as I mentioned, stagnant pattern, and so the showers are continuing down here. But that the fact that the pattern is stagnant is great for us, because it means another nice day for tomorrow. High pressure, sunny skies. Later on Wednesday, we'll have to worry about this front backing into the northeastern part of the state. Let's take a look now at the detailed forecast then. First, overnight, really pleasant this evening, especially by March standards, and later on at night, temperatures will fall down into the mid-30s under nearly full moonshine, as the phase of the moon is approaching a full phase. Later on in the southeastern part of the state, some patchy fog will develop, especially in the river valleys, and it could become quite dense down there toward dawn. Now for tomorrow, the fog will dissipate a few hours after the sun rises in the southeastern part of the state. Hardly a cloud to be found, really, over much of the state, with temperatures popping up to where they were today within a few degrees, mid-60s to 75 down toward Pittsburgh. Some clouds late in the day in the northeast, but another jewel of a day. And then for Wednesday, more clouds, and I am concerned with the cold air coming in, especially into the northeastern part of the state, where they may not get out of the 50s. I've been a little optimistic with a 62, but really still mild, perhaps a shower in the northwest late in the day. How long will the mild weather persist? Red has the answer in the extended forecast.
It can be the cruelest time of year. We are teased with the promise of spring on a day like today, but there is the inevitability of a return to reality, and it actually is within sight. Toward the end of this week, in a series of gradual steps, we're going to get the temperatures back to near where they should be at this time of year. Here's a look out into the Atlantic Ocean, and this is giving you a sense of a big storm system out in the North Atlantic here. And slowly but surely, a series of large storm systems out that way is going to turn the wind into the north across eastern Canada, eastern North America. And surely as we can be, we're going to get the cool air from eastern Canada to drain southward with time later in the week. Doesn't look like there'll be any big storminess that will accompany the return to chill. Okay, let's take a look at the jet stream. There you see the dip off the east coast. And that is kind of the hint of that upper-level low-pressure area that's going to help bring some northerly winds in. And then another disturbance will come in the jet stream and drive the cooler air even farther down. We're not talking bitterly cold air. That is going to remain pretty far north in Canada, just the kind of cool air that we oftentimes get in the spring. Let's take a look at how it summarizes for the U.S. for the period this coming Thursday through Sunday. There's where we think there's going to be at least one fairly major cold front setting up right around Friday. And that's the first day that you really notice the pool of cool coming in a big way. It will turn not as warm to our south. It'll stay mild in many parts of the plains. It won't be as wet on the west coast, and that's good news. Summarizing for Pennsylvania, there you see still pretty mild in parts of Pennsylvania on Thursday, but the downward trend is obvious. There will be variable clouds as those weak disturbances with scattered showers come through, and by late Friday, a couple of those showers could be mixed with wet flakes in northern and northeastern Pennsylvania. Probably a little bit more sun as we get to late on Saturday. We will be back in a moment with more. Well, you know, I was out yesterday and there were already some cookouts fired up around the neighborhood, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case this evening as well.
You may be right, in fact. Sounds like a good idea to me. Let's take a look at the recap now. First, overnight, it will be a really pleasant night by March standards. Temperatures dropping into the 50s during the evening, and then eventually they will drop into the mid-30s late at night with clear skies and some patchy fog developing in the southeastern part of the state late at night. Now let's go ahead to the day tomorrow, another jewel of a day with temperatures getting up into the upper 60s and lower 70s, and the fog will dissipate early in the morning across the southeast.
Okay, thanks very much, Colin. That is all the time we have for tonight on Weather World. You want to be with us tomorrow night. It's Tuesday. We'll be following the continued spring fever weather. Also, we'll have our Climate Watch segment. That's when we close the books on the month of February and try to forecast the general trends around here for the next 30 days. We'll see you then.
Weather World is made possible by grants from Adelphia Cable Communications of Countersport, bringing the picture of cable television to viewers since 1952. From Omega Financial Corporation and its banking affiliates, First National of Saxton, Hollidaysburg Trust, People's Bank, Penn Central National, and Russell Bank. From Swift Kennedy and Company, DuBois and Brockway, providing professional services for personal, business, and financial needs. From King Printing of State College, providing businesses and individuals with complete offset printing and copy services. And made possible through the financial support of viewers like you.
This program was made possible on WITF by contributing members and by Sprint United Telephone. Coming up later tonight, see how 3 astronauts in a crippled spacecraft survived a dangerous journey home on Apollo 13 to the edge and back at 8. Then, composer Mike Oldfield performs his magical instrumental composition in majestic Edinburgh Castle. Catch Tubular Bells at 10:10. It all happens tonight, only on WITF.
Thanks to everyone who entered the WITF art contest. Be watching when we announce the winners on Sunday, April 23rd during Gallery 33.
You're watching WITF Television, Harrisburg.
From Penn State, this is Weather World, made possible by grants from Adelphia Cable Communications of Countersport, bringing the picture of cable television to viewers since 1952. From Omega Financial Corporation and its banking affiliates, First National of Saxton, Hollidaysburg Trust, People's Bank, Penn Central National, and Russell Bank. From Swift Kennedy and Company, DuBois and Brockway, providing professional services for personal, business, and financial needs. From King Printing of State College, providing businesses and individuals with complete offset printing and copy services. And made possible through the financial support of viewers like you.